Hi, welcome to my new channel, Cooking from the Pantry. My name is Jessica, and I will be taking you along in my home, sharing tips and tricks from shopping to processing and preserving to cooking with what I have on hand. And that's really where the name for this channel came from, is that I want to help people become more confident with cooking what they have on hand to save money and really be able to thrive in any situation financially or in an emergency or whatever life throws at you, right? Because life can throw some things. So my name is Jessica, and to tell you a little bit more about myself, I'm the primary cook for our family of seven. I have been for the majority of my married life the primary cook, and we also have had a fairly tight budget for the majority of my family life. And what I learned is that the food budget is really the most variable budget piece that we have. Like whether you're spending a lot or spending a little depends on primarily whether you go out to eat a lot or cook at home, whether you plan ahead and shop sales or just go to the grocery store and buy whatever looks good to you, or whether you plan ahead for meals and utilize things that you already have on hand in your pantry, or whether you just wing it, right? Like when time comes to make a meal, you say, I'm gonna make this, whatever appeals to me at that time. And I used to err on that side of like, I can't plan. I have to just go with what I want to eat, what sounds good to me at that time. But I found myself running to the store a lot for one or two items. And that running to the store really added up. So over the years, I've perfected the method of keeping our food budget as small as possible. And I did this so that I could pay off debt and make wise investments for our future. However, I love food and I will not compromise the quality of our food. So I want to help you also be able to do the same thing, to thrive on a small budget and minimize your food budget so that you can put that extra money that you're saving to good use somewhere else in your life. And I know you can probably think of at least one or two places. So really the main goal of this channel is to take people from that stressed and overwhelmed state about meals to confident in the kitchen and the grocery store, to really thriving in whatever current reality you find yourself and giving you more hope for the future. That despite if inflation continues to go up and our food continues to be higher and higher in price, that you will have the tools and skills and creativity, because I think that's a huge piece, to cook well and still enjoy your food. I have some statistics that are really startling when it comes to food waste and the cost of food that we see in the United States. So the average American family of four throws out at least $1,600 per year in produce alone. That comes from Feeding America, that statistic, and that is startling. $1,600 is huge. The average American also spends more than $3,000 per year on eating out. And I would venture to say that the quality of food that they're getting from eating out is lower than they could be getting at home if they just put that money to good use in the grocery store and spent the time preparing and cooking. They would get higher quality food and spend a lot less than $3,000 per year. That statistic comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Another one from the USDA is it is estimated that the cost of groceries for a family of four is at least $1,000 per month, and that was 2022. So with inflation, that's probably creeping up to $1,500 by this point. And then another USDA statistic is a person per year costs, okay, so it's about $3,694 per person per year to eat at home. So that's the cost of food at home. And again, that was 2023. So in 2026, where we are today, it could definitely be higher. So our first video that we're going to cover today, our first topic, is 7 ways to conquer food inflation. These 7 ways, I would say, are my main ways. There are some others, but these are the main ways, and also simple ways, right, to really tighten that budget and save some money every month. So number 1, shop the sales. Download whatever grocery store app, whatever grocery store you shop at, grab their app. They usually have coupons and the weekly ad, and you can go through and see what is on sale this week. When you see it on sale at a good price, stock up. Buy 6 months worth, right? And that will save you money right off the bat, especially if it's something you eat on a regular basis. Shop the sales and save the money. Stock up with staples. Again, when you see the sales, stock up enough for 6 months to a year. You really want to focus on staples for this tip. So oil, flour, sugar, the basic ingredients that go into your meals. Rice, any sort of staples. And figuring out what your staples are might take a little bit of looking at what you eat for a week and then determining what those main ingredients that you eat on a regular basis are, and then looking for the sales again for those and stocking up. Finding substitutes. Substitutes are probably my favorite way to save money on meals. There are so many things that you can substitute for really specific, like kind of exotic ingredient. The one that comes to mind for me right away is hoisin sauce. So I refuse to buy hoisin sauce because I use it maybe twice a month, and I use it like 2 tablespoons at a time. Well, a cheat for hoisin sauce is equal parts peanut butter, ketchup, and some sort of kind of dark sweetener like a molasses, or I was using birch syrup when I had that on hand. Something like that gives you that umami flavor of the hoisin sauce, and you won't know the difference in a recipe. So substitutes are awesome. Definitely look into what you can substitute for other things. Another one, number 4 this is, we're at simple meals. So making your meals simplified using fewer ingredients is obviously going to save you money than a really complicated and time consuming and a lot of ingredient meal. Um, this will also save you time in the kitchen, right? If you're just making a simple meal, then it's going to be lickety split to get prepared and still tastes delicious. So when you're looking at recipes, a lot of times I look at recipes online for a specific meal and I'll compare like 3 or 4 recipes to find the one with the fewest ingredients and use that one instead of one with more ingredients. Number 6 would be to shop at more than one store. So this kind of relates to the first one, the shopping the sales. A lot of times different stores are going to have different kind of baseline prices for items. So knowing what store has the lowest price for that specific item is going to save you a lot of money. And you don't have to go to 3 stores in one day. What I end up doing is I plan, when I'm going to this part of town, I know that store is near there, then I will figure what items I need from that store when I am already going that way, shop that store for the couple ingredients that I need from there that I know are the cheapest at that store. This one will take a little bit of getting used to, adjustment if you're used to shopping at the same store all the time, but it's totally worth it to compare prices at different stores and shop for the things that are cheapest from each one. And excuse me, I feel it. Sneeze coming on. Number 6. Maybe my tea will help. Is to compare the price of each item per ounce or pound. So sugar is an easy one to do this. A lot of times on the label on the shelf, it will say the price per pound or ounce. And all you have to do is see the 3 different kinds of sugars or brands of sugars on the shelf is just to look at the tag and see which one is going to be the cheapest per pound. Over time, you will have your baseline price per pound that you know is a good price and you know is the price to stock up at. I have heard some people suggest starting a notebook, and I think this is a really good place to start, is just throw a notebook in your purse, and then when you find something on sale, write down the item and the price per pound that you paid. And this will give you kind of that baseline to look for. And then you're going to be such a smart shopper. Like, you're going to know when a sale is actually a good sale, or if a sale is just kind of a whitewashing sale, right? That they put the item on sale, but it's not even that great of a price per pound. So comparing that price per pound or ounce is going to save you a ton of money. And then lastly, number 7 is to save your leftovers and remake them. If you're the type of person that can eat leftovers just like they were, that's awesome. My family is not. So I have had to get creative over the years and remake leftovers into a new meal to get it eaten and not thrown away in the trash. Some of the easy remake meals that I do is like a casserole where you have a starch and a meat and a vegetable, and then you throw a sauce over it. and some spices. Mix it together, throw it in a pan, and put it in the oven. Cheese it up if you eat cheese, and it tastes great. It's a new flavor, a new texture. It's new, right? Another one is going to be soup. Is so easy to take all the odds and ends and throw them together, add some broth and extra spices, and serve it with some bread. One other tip for saving leftovers is that if you have a large amount of leftovers and it's enough for a whole meal, what I end up doing is I put it in a container and label it and stick it in the freezer. Because in 3 or 4 weeks, those leftovers will feel new again, and I can pull them out on a busy day and heat them up and serve it as dinner, and no one will remember that that was 3 weeks ago leftovers. And so, again, it's a new meal. It's about getting creative and experimenting to see what works for you and your family. But don't throw leftovers away. They are perfectly good. Just find a creative way to reuse them, and you will save, again, a ton of money not putting food in the trash. So I hope that you were able to get 1 or 2 really awesome strategies to put into practice from those 7 ways to conquer food inflation. My goal really is to help change mindsets. Changing your mindset is so powerful because a lot of times we can't change our reality, but when we change our mindset, we can see new ways of utilizing what we have and new ways of overcoming the situation that we're in that we can't maybe change at the moment, right? So I really want to take people to go from focusing on convenience foods to knowing how to cook well, how to cook simply, and using ingredients that are cheaper than the frozen meal that you can find at the grocery store. And it is not hard to cook. If you struggle with cooking, let me help you. Let me show you the simpler way that cooking doesn't have to be scary or hard or time consuming. You can do it no matter how busy you are, and you will be giving yourself a much higher quality meal and a better experience than that convenience food. Convenience food, I think, is really part of our problem in America. I think the quality is terrible, and it's really killing us because we have lost that skill of being able to take food from its raw state, from the earth, really, and cook it up into something amazing and healthy. And this idea that we need to go to the store to get a freezer meal to serve our family keeps us stuck. It's really like a form of slavery, I feel like, that we are a slave to whatever the food companies give us, and there's no resilience in that. When you know how to cook, you can take whatever you have on hand and make an amazing meal, and you're not at the mercy of the stores or the government. Cooking gives you freedom, independence, and you can find food everywhere. There is a man this year who is foraging 100% of his food. And that's so inspiring to me because he is totally stepping out of the grocery stores. and finding food in the environment wherever he is. And you can do that too because food grows everywhere. You can source it from a farmer, you can source it from a farmer's market, you can source it from your garden, you can source it from a pot growing in your kitchen by the window, right? You can also source it from any sort of gleaning organization. I have been a part of those in the past, and it's wonderful to see food coming in that would otherwise be thrown away and it going to people that are so thankful for it. It also helps the food budget, right? And it's fresh and ready to be made into something wonderful. So, thank you for joining me. I look forward to taking you on this journey and learning from you all and sharing the wisdom that I have collected over the years by trial and error and sometimes failing miserably and sometimes being so impressed with how creative and resilient I have become and empowered by saving money on my groceries, feeding my family well, and being able to use that money for more important things. So until next time, thank you, and let's get cooking.